Are we on here? All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chief Cryptologic Technician Technical Michelle Oberhauser, Master of Ceremonies for today's event. Welcome to today's retirement ceremony honoring Master Chief Intelligence Specialist John Rezendes and his 30 long years of naval service. Navy Reserve, JIAC, Intelligence Operations Center, European Command 0206, Officer in Charge, Lieutenant Commander Howard Cobb will officiate today's ceremony. This is an uncovered event. We invite our civilian guests to stand with the military during portions of the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of our official party and remain standing for the presentation of colors, singing of our national anthem, and the invocation. Official party will remain covered. Military may remain uncovered at attention. Bosun, post the side boys.
Side boys, attention, forward, off. Side boys, left, right, face.
Retired, Senior Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, arriving. Master Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, arriving. JIAC 0206, arriving. Color guard, post the colors.
Detail, attention. Shoulder, arms. Ready, two. Carry, colors. Forward, march. And salute. Mark time, march. Detail, hold. Right, face. Present, arms.
Our national anthem will be sung by Mrs. Lacey Daly Farmer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and rockets red glare, the booms bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, St. John's and star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Color guard, retire the colors.
Shoulder, arms. Ready, two. Forward, march. Ready,
Master Chief Rezendes' cousin, retired Senior Chief Hospital Corpsman Donald Baker, will now deliver the invocation.
There's an old hymn I'd like to use to start of this. God of our fathers, whose almighty hand. This was written by a gentleman back in 1876, I think it was, as a part of a ceremony up in a small town in New England, Vermont, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence. This was in 1876. And he wrote these words: God of our fathers, whose almighty hand leads forth in beauty all the starry band of shining worlds in splendor through the skies, our grateful song before thy throne arise. Thy love divine hath led us in the past. In this free land by thee our lot is cast. Be thou our ruler, guardian, guide and stay. Thy word our law, thy paths our chosen way. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this assurance that you've been with our country, you've been with John and all of us through our careers, and we give you the thanks. We honor you today as we honor John. We thank you and praise you now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Senior Chief Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Bosun, post the side boys.
Left, right, face. Okay.
Good morning, Captain Nady Horsky, Commander Adams, Lieutenant Commander Koss, Commander Warren, Command Master Chief Harding, Master Chief Tickle, Master Chief Wynn, and the men and women of our military and civilian force joining us today. I would like to welcome all of you to this momentous occasion marking the retirement of Master Chief Rezendes. Master Chief Rezendes, good morning and welcome. We are gathered this morning to witness the final stage in your very long and productive 30-year military career. We are also gathered to say thank you to an outstanding leader, mentor, shipmate, friend, and brother. Your many contributions, each in their own unique way, have made our Navy a stronger and more capable force in a never-ending fight for peace in this sometimes troubled world. Thank you for being the leader, ensuring the next generation of sailors is ready to meet the challenges of tomorrow. It's been an honor to serve with you, and you will be greatly missed. But just as this is the end of one phase in your life, it is the beginning of another. So, our gathering today also gives us the opportunity to wish you every success in the future as you look forward to new challenges and new rewards. I extend an especially warm welcome to Master Chief, lovely wife Chrissy, and sons JJ and Matt, daughter-in-law Kylie, grandchildren Camden and Wyatt, friend Becca, mother Susan and stepfather Frank, mother and father-in-law Mary and Tommy, sisters Lisa and Karen, brother Anthony, and cousin Don. Thank you for traveling from Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. We hope you're enjoying your time in the Hampton Roads, and you will find today to be a memorable day for your beloved John. I know that you, more than any one of us, are vividly aware of the sacrifices that Master Chief Rezendes has made in service to our country. And I speak for the entire command when I say how pleased we are to have you here today. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the officer in charge of JIAC Year 0206, Lieutenant Commander Kopp.
Good morning, everybody. It's customary to
grand salutations to all the higher ranking individuals. But all I have to say is, this is Master Chief's extended family. It's a Navy family. I'm excited and extremely honored to be here, to be a part of this event. I've only known Master Chief Rezendes for a year and a half, but he's been a great mentor to me. And to see the unselfishness and the extra mile that he puts in every single week for all his sailors, and for those outside of the command that he has no affiliation with. But he has such a great reputation, he's been such a great man to myself and to others that this is one of those that you really hate to see leave in the park. Reluctantly, we do have to go along with his wishes in this. But, yeah. But the other thing is, it is part of the family, it's a Navy family. And we're going to witness today the reenlistment of another Rezendes to carry the flag on, which is something I've never seen before. Just by the amount of people that are here and the extra hard work that Chief Oberhauser and everybody put into this, it just tells you how much he's respected and cared for and loved by everybody. So I resisted over time calling him John, as some people are like, well, just call him enough. He's the Master Chief of the United States Navy. He has earned his right to be there, to carry that rank. And he's earned his right as a leader to be respected for the rest of his life as Master Chief by me. So forever on, he will be Master Chief of this. I really am at a loss for words for how the impact of this is going to be on our unit. But we've got great sailors who've been mentored by him, who are the future for our unit and for our Navy. And I know they'll do their best to live up to his standards. And once again, I just appreciate everybody showing up here today. And thank you, Chief, for 4 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our guest speaker for today's event was unfortunately unable to attend. Master Chief Rezendes, front and center. Lieutenant Commander Cobb will now present Master Chief Rezendes End of the Tour Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Attention to the award. Headquarters, United States European Command. Citation to accompany the award of Defense Meritorious Service Medal to John M. Rezendes. Intelligence Specialist, Master Chief John M. Rezendes, United States Navy Reserve, distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service as Senior Enlisted Advisor, Joint Reserve Intelligence Support Elements, District of Columbia, DeKalb, and Norfolk, Joint Intelligence Operations Center Europe, Analytics Center, Intelligence Directorate Headquarters, United States European Command, from July 2006 to June 2021. During this period, Master Chief Rezendes filled roles as Senior Enlisted Leader and Advisor to 3 different units, serving as a key advisor to multiple unit directors, deputy directors, directors of intelligence, and fellow senior enlisted leaders on all operational, administrative, and personnel issues, resulting in a well-trained Joint Reserve Force, a large Unit of the Year award, and selection to key staff Navy headquarters leadership positions. Master Chief Rezendes provided instrumental leadership on resourcing and manning decisions in the creation of the new Joint Service Norfolk Detachment in 2016, which has consistently delivered 100% mission tasking completion since its inception and successful transition to no-strike entity production. The distinctive accomplishments of Master Chief Rezendes culminate in a long and distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Navy Reserve, and the Department of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. A presidential letter of appreciation, or retirement letter, is a standard letter of appreciation prepared by the White House and signed by the President of the United States. The letter recognizes military or Department of Defense civilian retirees with 30 or more years of credible service for retired pay. Master Chief Rezendes will now be presented Letters of appreciation from President Bill Clinton, President George W. Bush, and President Donald Trump. The first letter is from June 6, 2021, to Master Chief Petty Officer John M. Rezendes, United States Navy, in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Dear Master Chief Rezendes, I am pleased to join you with your family and friends in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Navy. You have served our country with distinction and honor, and you can be proud of your contributions to our national security and to the peace around the world. I am delighted to send my best wishes as you celebrate this milestone in your years of service. Sincerely, signed, President Bill Clinton. From the office of George W. Bush. Thank you for your service to our nation. President and Mrs. Bush have the deepest respect for the brave men and women who wear the uniform of the United States. You and your fellow patriots have strengthened and inspired our nation. We all owe all of you a great debt of gratitude. President and Mrs. Bush send their best wishes along with their appreciation for your service. Respectfully, the office of George W. Bush. Third letter from the office of Donald J. Trump. Congratulations as you retired from the United States Armed Forces. Thank you for your contributions to the safety and security of America. As you open this next chapter in your life, I hope that you feel tremendous pride in your service to our nation and that you continue to find ways to invest in your community and our country. Melania and I send our best wishes for continued success in all your future endeavors. May God bless you and may God continue to bless our great nation. Sincerely, signed, President Donald Trump. Master Chief Rezendes is also receiving recognition letters from the governors of his native home state of Maryland and his current, letters from the governors of his native home state of Maryland, Governor Larry Hogan, and his current residential state of West Virginia, Governor Jim Justice. The state of Maryland, Governor of the State of Maryland, to ISCM John Michael Rezendes. Greetings. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of your 30 years of dedicated and outstanding service, on behalf of the United States Navy, in honor of the high level of professionalism, leadership, and integrity you have demonstrated throughout your distinguished career, and as the people of Maryland join in expressing our great respect, admiration, and sincere best wishes on the occasion of your retirement, we are pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation. Given under my hand the Great Seal of the State of Maryland on the 6th day of June 2021. Signed, Governor Larry Hogan, the Lieutenant Governor, and the Secretary of State. Congratulations from Governor Justice to Intelligence Specialist Master Chief Petty Officer John Michael Rezendes, United States Navy. On behalf of the citizens of the state of West Virginia, I extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to your 30 years of dedicated service to our nation. The leadership, hard work, and personal sacrifice you have demonstrated during your tenure have been of vital importance to the United States. You have shown yourself to be worthy of the highest praise. Furthermore, your record of accomplishments must be a source of great pride to you, your family, and friends. The very best wishes and highest regard of citizens of West Virginia are extended to you. May your retirement be rewarding. Sincerely, signed, Governor Jim Justice. The Navy family is as much a part of the Navy as a service member. Chrissy, JJ, Matt, would you please join Lieutenant Commander Cobb up front for presentation? Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings, 2, Christine Lee Rezendes. By the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for your unselfish, patriotic, and devoted service during your husband's military career. Your unfailing support and understanding helped immeasurably to make possible his lasting contribution to the nation. To those who say a single man cannot make a difference, I say wrong. Your husband did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, he will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thanks you, and I thank you. Given the 6th day of June, 2021. Signed, Lieutenant Commander Howard Cobb, United States Navy, Officer in Charge, Navy Reserve, JIAC, European Command 0206. Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings to John Michael Rezendes Jr. and Matthew David Rezendes. By the authority in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for enduring the frequent and long separation from your father, John, as he served his country. These months, indeed years, that he spent away from you constitute a clear and noble demonstration of his love for you and his family. You see, he left you in order to ensure that you inherited a safer world, a surer place, a surer peace. To those who say a single man does not make a difference, I say wrong. Your father did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, he will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thanks both you and your father for enduring these separations. Given this 6th day of June, 2021, signed, Howard Cobb, Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy, Officer in Charge, Navy Reserve, JIAC, European Command 0206. Again, congratulations to your family on this momentous day. You may be seated. Chief Rios and Petty Officer Whedon, please step forward.
Master Chief Rezendes is the plank owner for JIAC 0206. Our unit's mission is to provide intelligence support to European Command within the joint environment, and our supported command is located at Royal Air Force Base, Molesworth, United Kingdom. We all know Master Chief's favorite sport is baseball. However, in England they play cricket. This bat represents the American and British partnership, the United States European Command, and Jack Molesworth. Most of all, it's a gift from our sailors who look up to you for mentorship. Your strong and impactful deck plate leadership will be dearly missed among our team. We hope you enjoy your retirement and watching baseball games this summer. Petty Officer Whedon served you during 2 of your last reserve units, and is also a JIAC your plank owner, and presents you with the great cadet.
It is the duty of Chief Petty Officers to instill military and Navy heritage, history, education, and pride. Both UCOM and AFRICOM intelligence support commands are located at Royal Air Force Base, Molesworth, United Kingdom. There are several RAF bases scattered throughout the English countryside. During World War II, American B-17 Flying Fortress bombers were stationed at Molesworth and conducted hundreds of air bomb mission raids into mainland Europe. Today marks a significant day in American history as we remember D-Day, the 77th anniversary of Operation Overlord. The 303rd Bomb Wing of B-17s, known as Hells Angels, supported the war effort from RAF Molesworth. Although they were typically strategic in support, on this day they were diverted to support the invasion of Normandy. Let us take a moment of silence to remember all those who made the ultimate sacrifice of service this day. They did not turn back in the face of the enemy. Will all past and present UCOM and AFRICOM Chief Petty Officers please join us up front for presentation of a gift from the Chief's Mess. Pictured here are several B-17 flying fortresses coming in for a landing at RAF Molesworth in the signed Keith Hill print, Molesworth, summer of '44. Embedded are scrap metal pieces of an aircraft down near Molesworth whose crew ejected safely. Master Chief, you have never turned back in the face of challenges, which has been inspiring to the entire mess. We give you our heartfelt thanks and gratitude for your leadership and mentorship over the years. Please be seated. Chief Rios, Chief Wynn, and Chief Walburn, please step forward for presentation of the shadow box.
According to some accounts of naval history and tradition, when a sailor retires and is departing the ship for the last time, it's considered bad luck for the sailor's shadow to touch the land before he does. Thus, the sailor's shipmates would construct a sturdy box, handcrafted of the finest materials, in which to display mementos of the sailor's accomplishments, thereby symbolically creating a shadow of the sailor. The box safely contains the sailor's shadow until he is safely ashore, at which time the shadow box can be given to the sailor in a presentation ceremony. Historically, when a sailor would join a ship's crew, he would join that ship for his entire career. During the sailor's voyages to ports of call around the world, he would collect many trinkets, souvenirs, and reminders of his travels. Naturally, as space aboard ship was at a premium, these items tended to be small. When the sailor was piped ashore for the last time, his shipmates saw to it that a special ceremonial box was constructed for him. The box would hold all the possessions that had been collected during those many voyages and would simultaneously symbolize the sailor's career and time aboard ship. Ideally, a shadow box serves not only as a reminder of achievements and accomplishments, but also as a summation, a culmination of a career. A shadow box should enable a stranger glancing at its contents to gain a substantial understanding of the owner's past service and achievements. Master Chief Rezendes' flag was floated above Forward Operating Base Ghazni, Afghanistan on January 1st, 2010 during his overseas mobilization.
We'll get it back to you at the end.
You gotta keep it. Flag detail, post. For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. The flag you are about to see has been flown at Master Chief Rezendes' first active duty command, the United States Navy Ceremonial Guard in Washington, D.C. This flag was flown there on May 10th of this year. This flag passing detail honors our nation's most cherished symbol of freedom, the stars and stripes. The flag will be ceremoniously passed from one sailor to the next in honor guard formation, representing all 9 enlisted pay grades, Master Chief. Chief Rios will now recite Old Glory.
United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped, I am saluted, I am respected, I am revered, I am loved, and I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and scores of other places long forgotten by all except those who were there with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired. But my sailors and Marines cheered me. And I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th as cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes of once proud buildings by brave firefighters, heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloody, will never be beaten. Those who would destroy me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it is done by those whom I've served with in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surly bonds of earth from my vantage point on the moon. I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But not my finest hour comes when I am torn in strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God, long may I wave. Flag detail. Post.
Forward, march.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present today's retiree, Master Chief Petty Officer John Michael Rezendes.
All right. Try not to cry. So I'm gonna do this really fast, so I don't cry. Well, it's funny because I'm an IS and you're supposed to give briefings, and as an IS, but throughout my 30 years, I wasn't too comfortable standing up and briefing, but I made it work. Matt Hoskins watched me give briefs in Afghanistan, and that's probably when I felt most comfortable after getting through my crazy training in Indiana, and then once I got to Afghanistan. Here I go. Before I start, I want to wish my grandson a happy 4th birthday. Happy birthday, Wyatt. I'm so happy to share this day with you. I know that we've celebrated your day other days, but today's your real birthday. You told me today. Happy birthday, buddy. Senior officers, fellow chiefs, sailors, family, friends, I want you to know how much it means to me that you're here today. Thank you for all the individuals that made my 30 years of service a success. Chief Oberhauser, thank you for helping me put this ceremony together in 5 weeks. During the May drill weekend, we drilled the first weekend in May. I was about 90% sure this wasn't going to happen. JG was going to be re-enlisting anyway. We were just going to go to the Navy Memorial re-enlist, and I wasn't going to have a retirement. And then the next day of our drill weekend, they changed everything to Health Protection Bravo, and we said, I guess we can do this. So Chief got started. I mean, I'm in West Virginia, she's down here making things happen, and I really appreciate it, because she's about to move to Florida. Her husband's getting stationed in Panama City next week. She's moving. Like literally, the movers are coming on Friday, and she's heading to Florida. So all this stuff that you had going on with your personal life, with your daughter's injury, and you still kept up with making my ceremony great. Thank you, Lieutenant Commander Cobb, for your leadership in this crazy year and a half since taking command. Commander Cobb took command December of 19 and was ready to, lead our unit into the future. And then we all went virtual drilling because of COVID. So this is probably only the 3rd drill you've had with us, maybe 4th. I mean, we've had all virtuals, but to actually see the unit, he's been able to, adjust to that challenge. And thank you for your leadership. Thank you to all the sailors from my unit, Jayak Ure, for helping me put this ceremony together, participating with the flag details and the side boys and everything you guys have done. I'm gonna miss you guys. It's gonna be to me hard not getting together on one weekend a month and doing our fun activities we did when we have our surge drill weekends and going to baseball games or hockey games or things we've done together, picnics. Gonna miss all that. Senior Chief Knox, where are you at? Thank you very much for coming down from Pennsylvania to be part of the flag detail. Senior Chief Knox was frocked to first class the day I was frocked to Master Chief in August of 10. So he got to share that frocking ceremony with me on that day. I'm really, was proud to see him go from first class to Chief to now Senior Chief. And thank you very much for making that drive down. And thank you to all the other chiefs from my previous units, Kim from UCOM. I thought we were together in Africa. I was at DeKalb and get confused with who was with when. So Kim was with me in UCOM. Amy, you were with me with UCOM. I know Steve, you were with me with AFRICOM. So we had a lot of history together. And Terry, thank you very much for being part of this, and Chris for being a photographer. And Don, thank you very much for coming down from Pennsylvania also. He lives up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And Senior Chief, Hospital Corpsman, retired. And for Jeff and Janet for bringing him down. Appreciate that. That's awesome. So Don made chief in 1960, and he retired in 1972. And when I made chief in 2002, I asked him if he would be my sea lawyer. Of course, he didn't know what he was supposed to do, and Mike Murphy helped him out. Mike Murphy was my sponsor and helped him out. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you were there from one of the greatest days of my Navy life when I made chief, and also being a part of my final day in the Navy. Thank you very much. There's a picture of me yelling at Don with blacked out goggles because Mike made me do it, and I didn't know who I was yelling to. And when he raised the goggles, I was actually yelling at Don. So I couldn't find that picture, but it's a really, really fun memory I have. Thank you, Lacey, for your rendition of the national anthem. That was very beautiful. Glad you guys made the trip from West Virginia. That's awesome. And Jesse, thank you for capturing this video. We're hoping that it's going to be on YouTube. If there's any mistakes, I will send the YouTube link to everybody so we can all watch it and remember it. thank you for all my family from coming from Maryland and West Virginia down to Norfolk with that crazy 7 to 8 hour drive that some of you guys endured yesterday. Oh, sorry about that. It was supposed to be an easy trip down to the beach. You shouldn't have, but you never know what's going to happen. And thank you to my coworkers Jared and Monette for making the trip. Represent work, awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate. I put the Facebook invite out there just to everybody. Just anybody want to come, that's okay. And Jared was like, "What's the information I need to have? We're coming." I was like, "Really appreciate you guys." Me and Monette worked nights together for years, and currently me and Jared work together on days. And it's awesome having you guys here. Thank you to all my shipmates from former units. So Matt from Afghanistan, represent Afghanistan. Thank you. It's like again, you get together with people in certain parts of your career, and it's awesome to be able to come back together, even if it's just for one day or on Facebook or whatever. We're able to re-meet up, and all my former NAF, Washington Chiefs mess. Appreciate you all here. Silas is here. Silas messaged me on Facebook. He said he just happens to be in town the same weekend. So you live in Arizona and came out for this. Thank you very much. It's awesome. And Mike, thank you for your sponsoring me as a chief. I didn't know you before I made chief. I asked Jerry Evans who should be my sponsor. He said, Mike Murphy. He will take care of you. He will show you what you need to do and guide you to what you need. I'm glad I took Jerry's advice because I picked you as my sponsor. I didn't, without knowing who you were. And thank you for pushing the regional cell, Senior Chief Rowe, I think she was Senior Chief at the time, to giving me a chance to be the unit LCPO. Because you and Master Chief Garrett, I think, must have convinced her to let me be the LCPO of the NCIS unit. And you allowed me to, as a boot chief, to step right off of the pinning ceremony and immediately be the LCPO of the NCIS unit. And that challenge forced me to immediately use the skills I learned during initiation season, and just gave me the running start I needed to continue. It's hard to believe it's been 19 years since I made chief, and it started with you being my sponsor. I appreciate that. So thank you, Mom. Thank you for raising me, husband, father, the Master Chief, and everything I am. Thank you. Flowers for you, Mom. So when I got my driver's license, she wouldn't take me to get my driver's license. So what I did was I sent her flowers to work to kind of. Love you. Mary and Tommy, thank you for the huge support during all the times that we've lived with you. I don't even know how many, lost track, off and on. You gave us a place to live, between houses, for the times when I was gone, the times that you support Chrissy, JJ, and Matt. Really appreciate all the support you guys have given us over the years. Lisa, I know that I've said this many times, but I'm going to say it one more time. Thank you for living with Chrissy, JJ, and Matt when I was gone. The support you gave while I was in Indiana and Afghanistan, I'll never forget. Like, I know I've said this many times, and it was a huge support. You moved in shortly before I got my orders, and you took over and helped out. Really appreciate that. I will never forget that. This adventure started when I was 17 years old, and I decided that I didn't want to go to college. I was done with school. And to tell you the truth, I knew I needed something to be able to tell people, because they were going to ask me, what are you doing after high school? So I filled out a postcard that I got in the mail for a free Navy poster. And I knew that a recruiter would call me. I just didn't know how to get a hold of a recruiter, so I figured that postcard would help. And sure enough, the recruiter called me, and I enlisted on July 30th, 1990. 3 days before Iraq invaded Kuwait to start Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I still had my senior year of high school to get through, but I was excited for the future that I would start the summer of 1991. February 1991, was the start of something more treasured than my 30 years in the Navy. It started when it was the start of John and Chrissy. I met a 16-year-old sophomore from high school who would be with me for the entire adventure. Chrissy, you were my rock through boot camp, and I was so happy when I could call you from boot camp to say, I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is I'm not coming home right after graduation from boot camp, but the good news is I'm getting orders to DC and I have to wait for them. So I'm going to be in DC for 2 years to allow her to finish her junior year, finish her senior year, and for us to continue with our adventure. And you were with me with our first apartment, not far from here in Virginia Beach, when I was stationed at Dam Nick for A School. Our adventure cross country, driving my first time out of the Eastern time zone towards California for my squadron in California. You endured the multiple underways on the Nimitz, detachments to Fallon, Nevada. You even made a 7-hour drive to Fallon to visit me in a snowstorm, and were turned around by authorities near Donner's Pass for not having tires on your chains on your tires. And you didn't even know what chains or for tires were. And you said she almost fell off a mountain too, turning around. Pretty scary, but you still made it there. We visited for the weekend, and that was fun memories. You went through my deployment on Nimitz with our 4-year-old son, or 4-month-old son, JJ, little baby JJ. We had to drive back from California to Maryland to leave you there while I went on my deployment. Multiple ATs, my 3 months of hell on Camp Atterbury, you were the one that got me through that. Not only were you trying to deal with me being gone, but you were also holding me together while I struggled to figure out how I was going to get through the training. I mean, it was difficult. For me, I was used to being reserve LCPO, and they wanted me to do things I wasn't used to doing, and you helped me get through it. And then you continue that strength during the 9 months I was in Afghanistan. This retirement ceremony is much for you as it is for me. Chrissy always said that I might be the master chief, but she's the master of this chief. All right. JJ and Matt, I want to tell you how proud I am of you that you endured all those same separations while I was gone. You were strong for Mom when she was struggling while I was gone, and I'm especially proud to have served my nation with both of my sons, being able to attend both of your boot camp graduations, JJ's A school graduation, Matt's AIT graduation in Fort Lee. That meant so much to me to be able to have the three of us serving together at the same time. This career has been an adventure. I got to see the west coast of the US for the first time. I got to sail halfway around the world from San Diego to the Persian Gulf. My first AT after I joined the reserves, getting to sport an exercise in Keflavik, Iceland. I was able to return to San Diego on ATs, go to Brazil and Peru on an around the Horn cruise on Nimitz, go to Naples, go to Rhode Island for Senior Enlisted Academy, Molesworth many times, and my last cool AT to Grafenberg, Germany in 2019. COVID messed up my chances for one last one. Really hoping to go back to Molesworth at least once or twice, and it didn't happen. But I can't complain. I got to see the world. I joined the Navy to see the world. I got to see it, so I am happy for what I did get to see. To my JIAC unit, it's time for me to go. I was the cell of the UCOM J2 unit in Fort Meade, Maryland when my PRD was up. I knew a new unit was forming in Norfolk, and they were going to need a cell to get the unit going. And I'm glad the timing worked out because I got to be the second member of this unit. First member, Valerie Turner. I contacted her and I said, who are you? Because I'm in this unit too, and we're about to create a unit. And she had no idea what was happening, that she was even the first member of the unit. She just knew she got orders to the unit. And so I'm very glad that you were able to make it out here today. So we got to start this new unit, and I know that I didn't take the usual path of a Master Chief. I know that Master Chiefs are supposed to go regional staff and national staff. My purpose was right here at the unit level. I wanted to be on the deck plates, and I'm glad I was able to stay on the deck plates. I'm not saying that the regional or national Master Chiefs aren't deck plate leaders. This is where I was, wanted to be, and I'm glad I stayed here at this level. I'm going to miss all of this, but I knew it couldn't last forever. I'm leaving the Navy in the good hands of the chiefs and sailors that I've led. and it's been an amazing ride. To all my sailors and future leaders, the advice I can give is know that time is valuable. The greatest thing you can invest in your sailors is time. When faced with a mission, never let yourself be too busy to spend time with your sailors, and know that you can never go back and change the beginning, but you have the opportunity to start where you are today and change the ending. With that, I'd like to say thank you for your time here and making this a memorable moment for my family. Thank you.
Thank you, Master Chief. Retired Senior Chief Cryptologic Technician Administrative April Nalitz will now read the Chief Petty Officer Retirement Creed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All Chief Petty Officers, retired and present, attention! Active duty, cover. Two. John, this is from all of us to you. The Chief Petty Officer community takes pleasure in presenting Master Chief Intelligence Specialist John, I can't pronounce your last name, I never have been able to. You're my brother.
Yes.
Of the United States Navy, the following retirement creed. You have this day experienced that which comes to all of us who serve on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty in no way terminates your relationship, regard, nor obligation to the United States Navy and your fellow Chief Petty Officers. By law and tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you earned as the Chief was based on the same attributes that you will now carry into retirement. You should have no regrets. It should not view your retirement as an end of an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment. To perform an independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all maritime fraternities, that of the U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officer. Your active and retired chiefs salute you. Chief Petty Officers, hand salute. Ready to. Your retired chiefs welcome you. Welcome. We wish you the traditional fair winds and following seas.
Thank you.
Welcome. Chiefs, take your seats.
Thank you, April. You may be seated. Operations Specialist, Petty Officer 2nd Class Rezendes will now read the watch. Please come forward.
For 30 years, this sailor has stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this Master Chief stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this husband stood the watch. Many times he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times, but he still stood the watch. My dad stood the watch for 30 years. He stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety each and every night. Knowing that a Master Chief stood the watch, today we are here to say, Dad, Master Chief, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, guided, and led. Dad, you stand relieved. I have the watch. But first, I'm ready to reenlist.
Master Chief Rezendes will now read the oath of enlistment to his son, OS2 John Rezendes Jr. The reenlisting officer is Navy Reserve United States Fleet Forces Maritime Operations Center Headquarters, Executive Officer, Commander Martha Adams. Welcome, Commander Adams.
Thanks, Chief Overhauser. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I can't think of a better event to kind of segue here than to re-enlist OS2 Rezendes today. Sort of father and son passing the torch, literally. So I'd like to, you've already all been welcomed, but specifically wanted to say hello to OS2's wife, Kylie, his son and daughter, Wyatt and Camden, and mother Chrissy. I'd also like to acknowledge our skipper, Captain Nettie Horsky here today, and Master Chief Tickle as well. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you for choosing me to be your re-enlisting officer. I've had the pleasure of knowing OS2 Rezendes over the last year and a half at our reserve unit. It's been an interesting year during COVID, but you've really stepped up, specifically when I was training officer to help the unit figure out creative solutions during this time. So you really rose to the challenge, and during that time, there's really two things that stood out. I mean, clearly OS2's leadership and also dedication to the Navy and his family. Always taking the initiative, thinking ahead, just planning, and those are qualities you want in a sailor, and someone that'll be re-enlisting. Not afraid to ask questions and share that newfound knowledge with people in the unit. Not only Navy knowledge, but four-wheeling and all the stuff you've bagged while hunting. So we've enjoyed those stories, and as well as training. For those of you who don't know his story specifically, he enlisted as an aviation support equipment technician 7.5 years ago. And so he has a combined time on active duty and in the reserves. His first duty station was here in Norfolk at the Fleet Readiness Center in Mid-Atlantic, and then went on to serve on the H.W. Bush. So at that time, when he decided to transition into the reserves and spend some more time with family, kind of get the work-life balance, but they weren't accepting his rate in the reserves. So he had to make a very difficult transition to go from AS to OS, Operations Specialist. That's a major job change, going from technician to kind of learning how the ships kind of navigate. And I would know because I was a CIC officer on my ship, and I was, I led the OSs. So, during this time we've been preparing for his re-enlistment, he told me that that transitional experience really represents lessons learned from your first enlistment period. Sort of keep pressing through hurdles, and as long as you have fun, keep going. So I would agree. I think everyone would agree. Your dad would certainly agree. But you've had a steep learning curve with that, and that's matched with some high ambition. And I know one of your goals for this re-enlistment is to move forward and make that first class and keep going. And I think we're all behind you and know you will in due time. As we were preparing, I asked you a few questions. I didn't tell you I was going to read your answers, but I think that they're certainly appropriate in depicting your leadership and dedication to Navy and family. So, question 1, why did you decide to stay Navy? Watching my dad's career as a kid and being part of his unit's events, I always wanted to be part of something bigger. I knew since I was age 11 that I wanted to join the Navy, and after I left active duty to spend more time with family, I knew something would be missing if I didn't stay in the reserves. Now I've been having enough fun to enlist for 6 more years. So, question 2, and this will be the last one I share. What's your favorite part of being in the Navy? Well, the people and shipmates. And I've made lifelong friends that I know would do anything for me as I would for them. Meeting people from different states and countries and watching this well-oiled machine called the Navy turn. So today, Petty Officer Rezendes will be re-enlisting for 6 years. This is his first re-enlistment. As Chief said, Master Chief will be reading his oath of enlistment. The oath dates back to years ago, Revolutionary War through Civil War and today. Words have changed a little, but the sentiment is still the same. And by taking the oath, OS2 will, has committed to support and defend the Constitution to enemies foreign and domestic. In today's era of strategic competition, I think that this is so important, defending our democracy here and abroad. So, and I know you don't take this lightly. So with that, Master Chief, shipmates, family and friends, I'm proud and confident in knowing that Petty Officer Rezendes has the watch. Thank you.
I, John Michael Rezendes Jr.,
I, John Michael Rezendes Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will obey the orders
and I obey the orders
of the President of the United States
of the President of the United States
and the orders of the officers
and the orders of the officers
appointed over me,
appointed over me,
according to the regulations
according to the regulations
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice,
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
so help me God.
So help me God.
If you can do that one now. Yeah. Okay. OS2 Rezendes, you may assume the watch.
Dad, I have the watch.
I stand relieved.
Okay, you can do the reenlistment certificate next.
Oh.
Kylie, Camden, and Wyatt, will you please join your family in the front? All right, at ease. You have your seats. This is a certificate of appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. Greetings. Kylie Rezendes, by the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for your unselfish, faithful, and dedicated assistance during the naval service of your husband. Your unfailing support and understanding have helped immeasurably to make possible your husband's decision to continue a naval career. Given this 6th day of June, 2021, NOS Norfolk. Certificate of Appreciation from United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. Greetings. To Camden and Wyatt Rezendes. By the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for your unselfish, faithful, and dedicated assistance during the naval service of your father. Your unfailing support and understanding have helped immeasurably to make possible your father's decision to continue a naval career. Given this 6th day of June, 2021. Now it's Norfolk.
Yay!
Congratulations on your new 6 years. Your next 6 years.
I haven't signed yet.
You may be seated. Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Master Chief going ashore. This order has been passed on naval ships from the 1500s through today. Spanish, French, English, Dutch. Yes, all navies of the world use the bosun and side boys to call, to bring aboard or send ashore the ship's company officers, visiting officers, dignitaries, and VIPs. The side boys would haul the ropes and raise or lower the boarding platform so officers would not have to climb the ratlines the crew used when going ashore or to get aboard. This honor was extended to visiting officers, dignitaries, and port officials. It was not uncommon for the commanding officer of a ship to order up the jolly boat, a crew of 8 strongbacks, sideboys, and boatswain, to send an old shipmate and fellow officer ashore to his retirement home, never to sail on naval ships again. All hands on deck was passed, speeches were made about great victories, battles fought upon the open sea, raging storms weathered, and voyages to distant and strange lands with port of call others only dreamed about. He would also speak of shipmates left behind. The boatswain would stand tall, the side boys and the crew were called to attention, and then the retiree would step to the quarterdeck, salute the commanding officer, and request permission to go ashore. Permission granted, the retiree would step onto the platform and salute the flag he served, and then the retiree would be seated at the stern of the seats of the jolly boat going ashore. As the side boys lowered the jolly boat away to the boatswain's call, the ship's gunner would fire a final salute from the ship's main battery. The United States Navy was the first Navy to provide this honors to its enlisted crewmen. In the early to mid-1800s, enlisted men were holding retirements for their enlisted shipmates. After the Civil War, the commanding officer would take part in these enlisted retirements to show that he and the Navy recognized the contributions made by the enlisted men. And still today, we heave to, stop all engines, lay about smartly, drop anchor, and stand by to pay honor to one of our shipmates. A shipmate going ashore to honor those years served, the guidance, the leadership, the expertise, and above all the friendship that this shipmate has given these past 30 years. Boatswain, post the side boys, shipmate going ashore.
Silence, attention, forward, halt.
Please stand for the benediction.
Silence, left, right, six.
In the words of Isaac Watts, you have been with us, you are going to be with us. Thank you for being here today. We pray for John and the family and all those serving that their hope would be in you, Lord. Dismiss us now with your blessing. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Master Chief Petty Officer Rezendes will request permission to go ashore for the last time.
I will now read my retirement orders. Attention orders. From the Commander of Navy Personnel Command to ISCM IWSW John Michael Rezendes. Subject, retirement order and transfer authorization to retired reserve status. Per reference A and B, the Chief of Naval Personnel approved your request and authorized you to transfer to retired reserve status effective 1 August 2021. Your dedicated service to the Navy and the country is deeply appreciated. Signed, Kimberly I. Miller, Assistant Commander of Reserve, Personnel Management Department. Request permission to go ashore, retired. Permission granted.
Master Chief Intelligence Specialist John Michael Rezendes, retired, United States Navy, departing. All members of the Navy, past and present, man the rails, shipmate, going ashore. It has become customary following a retirement for family members to be piped ashore, honoring them for their contribution to their family member's career. As such, retired Master Chief Rezendes will escort Chrissy across the red carpet. Retired Chief Petty Officer, man the rail! Oh, okay. Navy family, departing. At ease, ladies and gentlemen, let's get